On the news tonight, Ogun Head of Service releases guidelines for workers' resumption. NCDC boss laments years of diagnostics infrastructure neglect. Ogun government warns against extramural classes. Court dismisses U.S. women's football team bid for equal pay. Opportunities to find deeper power within ourselves come when life seems most challenging. Hello and welcome to our comprehensive news package here on Ogun State Television. I am Olayinka Shodunke. The Ogun State government has announced continuation of the COVID-19 lockdown in the state till Saturday, May the 9th, 2020. The lockdown would, however, be relaxed on Monday, Wednesday and Friday next week between 7 in the morning and 5 in the evening. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, disclosed this while addressing the press on new measures in fighting COVID-19. Tunde Laniran reports that 30% of civil servants in the state are expected to be at work during the window of relaxation, and the circular from the State Head of Service will determine the categories of workers expected at work. His reports.
Nigeria, like every other nation across the world, is grappling with the containment of the dreaded coronavirus. Like every other nation of the world, Nigeria has had its fair share of lockdown, especially in Lagos and Ogun states, as well as FCT. The governor of Ogun State, Prince Dapo Abiodun, announces the new measures in the state to curb the spread of the virus.
The last few weeks, the number of confirmed cases in Abia State has continued to rise to more than double. As at last night, 30th April 2020, there are 56 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Ogun State as against 35 confirmed cases a week ago. Out of these, 8 have been discharged to rejoin their families and restart normal life, whilst we have 47 active cases who are currently receiving efficient treatment from our medical officers. All educational institutions remain closed till further notice. However, students in public schools will continue to enjoy their learning through our DigiClass. 30% of public servants are to resume for work on the days of windows of relaxation of lockdown. Head of Service will issue a circular providing details. As usual, all essential service personnel will continue to work notwithstanding the lockdown.
The governor says there will be no interstate movement, noting that testing capacity of the state has greatly improved.
The increase in number of cases is because of our increased testing capacity and faster turnaround. On Monday, 27th April, we unveiled Nigeria's first COVID-19 mobile laboratory located at the intended 250-bed hospital in Abeokuta. This laboratory has the capacity to run 450 tests in a day. We also have a state-of-the-art walk-in test center in Ota. The test kiosk is fitted with protective glass boxes to stave off the risk of infection of our health personnel by persons whose samples are being taken. We have now discovered that most of the new cases arise from the influx of immigrants, that is, returnees and visitors into our dear state. These fall into 2 categories: those Nigerians coming into the country through our land borders, and those that come into our dear state from other states of the country. On Tuesday, 28th April, we discovered that 24 people entered Ilushin in Ogun State Waterside local government, and just 24 hours later, another 12 people were rounded up in Odogbori local government area. This calls for vigilance from all of us. The appearance in our dear state has serious implications for public health and safety because the federal government has prohibited all forms of interstate travel except for essential services. We hereby call on all our law enforcement agents, traditional rulers, community leaders to be vigilant and report any migrant visitors to the police. Let me state with all sense of seriousness that we will not condone any act that will sabotage the ban on interstate travel by any of those vehicles or persons on essential services. For the avoidance of doubt, there will be no interstate travel whatsoever for persons living in Ogun State and working in any other state, including Lagos.
He urged everyone to be vigilant and abide by the measures put in place by the state government.
As part of our efforts to mitigate the effects of this pandemic, we're extending our palliatives to at least 20,000 youths in the state, at about 1,000 youths per local government. In addition, we will be engaging at least 250 youths per local government in the agri sector. We provide them with land, inputs, extension services, regular stipends, and off-take their harvest. Our relaxation window remains Monday, 4th May, Wednesday, 6th May, and Friday, 8th May. The new time frame will, however, now be from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on those days. These will give our people ample time to conduct necessary economic activities and to get to their various homes before the commencement of a daily curfew as directed by Mr. President. For the avoidance of doubt, the curfew is from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. every day, and these will be strictly enforced.
To win the war against coronavirus, citizens need to be calm and join hands with the government towards overcoming the virus. Tunde Olaniro, Ogtv News.
Meanwhile, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has approved partial resumption of workers from Monday, the 4th of May 2020 to ease lockdown measures in the state. The head of service, Town Planner Mokwe Choko, in a release urged all head of ministries, departments and agencies and local government to put in place modalities that would ensure that not more than 30% of their staff report for work on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays only until further notice. The statement also has it that hand-washing materials and sanitizers should be made available, and all staff on duty must put on face masks in their respective MDAs and local government, while the rule of social distancing must be adhered to at all times. The release adds that the resumption does not apply to educational institutions at all levels in the state. Also, the Ogun State Ministry of Environment has disinfected the state secretariat in Okemoson, Abeokuta, in line with the government efforts to contain the spread of the coronavirus in the state. The exercise is preparatory to the resumption of workers on Monday, the 4th of May 2020. Ido Fabaju reports.
The disinfection exercise began from the Obas complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta, to the Deputy Governor's Office, and other agencies at the State Secretariat. The exercise was put in place in order to contain the spread of coronavirus in the state. Commissioner in the Ministry of Environment, Honorable Abiodun Abudubalogun, who led the team, says the fight against coronavirus is total and the government is leaving no stone unturned.
We are trying to flatten the curve of the coronavirus pandemic in Ogun State. All we are trying to do is trying to be preventive. We're also here today as a Minister of Environment to also add to the preventive measures. You are aware that offices, government offices, and other offices generally, as directed by Mr. President, will resume on Monday, all things being equal. And then in preparation for that, that's why we're here, to disinfect the whole state government secretariat, within and without. All the ones in Okemoson, all the ones in Okile, anywhere we have government offices, Mr. Governor directed us to ensure that we properly decontaminate government offices in preparation for resumption of workers on Monday. So that is what we're here today to do. We have done a proper decontamination of even Mr. Governor's office. And like you say, you lead by example. You can see us that we went through to his offices and we were able to do everything. Same thing we're doing to all the ministries and agencies. So
he advises the private sector to emulate the government by disinfecting their environments before the commencement of work.
Companies, industries, banks, they should also go and decontaminate their own premises. It is good to be preventive. It's not enough for the governor to be doing this much. All of them now should also take it as a duty to decontaminate their premises in preparation for the workers' resumption. This is supposed to be an eye-opener for everyone. If you see the government doing its own offices, private companies should also do their own offices. If they need our assistance, we can offer. We can assist them if they contact the Ministry of Environment. We are ready.
As the case of COVID-19 infection is on the rise, this exercise becomes very important to stem the spread. And the step taken by the State Ministry of Environment is to ensure that every nooks and cranny of the State Secretariat, including the Governor's Office, State House of Assembly Complex, are disinfected. Idowu Fabadu, Ogtv News.
The Secretary to the Ogun State Government, Mr. Tokunbo Talabi, has presented face masks and food items to the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, with a charge to monitor the effective use of the face masks by faithfuls towards containing the spread of coronavirus among the people of the state. Mr. Talabi, who maintained that the gesture was part of the global preventive measures adopted to reduce the number of infections in the state and even beyond, thereby reducing the spread of the pandemic. The state scribe added that the Prince Dakwa Abiodun-led administration was working hard and in glove with other relevant organizations to achieve a virus-free society, assuring that the present administration would continue to give high premium to the overall well-being of the entire people of the state. Speaking after receiving the face masks and other food palliatives, Ogun State CAN Chairman Bishop Tunde Akinsoya, who acknowledged the innumerable efforts of the Dakwa Abiodun-led administration in the state since the dreaded pandemic came into existence. The CAN chairman appreciated the donation of face masks and food palliatives to the Christian body with an assurance to ensure the effective use of the face masks for personal hygiene and public health safety. Bishop Akinsoya thereafter advised the people of the state to ensure they passionately follow the laid-down global best practice guidelines on curbing the further spread and should always remember to practice and maintain safe distancing whenever the need to go out arises. Former Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Alhaja Makojola Badru, and the State Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Dr. Toyin Taiwo, have donated food items and face masks to the people of Ipokia local government area of the state. The items are meant to cushion the effect of COVID-19 lockdown on the people of the area. While handing them over to the local government, Dr. Taiwo said the gesture was born out of the need for him and Alhaja Badru to complement effort of the state government in making life easy for the people of the state during the lockdown.
Just like His Excellency has declared in Ogun State, that in order to be able to prevent the spread of coronavirus, which is known as COVID-19, that it is good for everyone to make sure they put on their face mask. If it is compulsory that you have to go out, if it's not compulsory, we should just try and stay at home in order to stay safe. On behalf of Our Excellency Alhaja, former Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Alhaja Badru, I'm a very humble self, Dr. Honorable Taiwo Emmanuel Oluwatoyin, the Humble Commissioner for Culture and Tourism, Ogun State. We want to present this to you so that you can use just to be able to assist the government with all the palliative they've given to the local government. This is just our own token to be able to assist the government in doing our own part, you understand, as a citizen of this local government.
Donated to the local government included 24 bags of gari, 120 cartons of noodles, and 1,200 face masks. They were received on behalf of the local government by the Council's Transition Committee Chairman, Honorable Aboluri Kabir. The Ministry of Education, Science and Technology has expressed its disappointment on reports that some individuals are flouting Ogun State Government's directive on closure of schools and ban of high-density gathering and activities in the state. A statement by the ministry warned individuals alleged to be conducting extramural classes for learners with numbers exceeding 20 to desist forthwith or be sanctioned and dealt with appropriately. The statement also encouraged parents and guardians to allow their wards to join the ongoing Ogun Digi class transmitted by the state-owned media stations, Ogtv and OGBC, while all schools are to embrace virtual learning and interaction only. They need to observe global best practice of social distancing as a way of containing the spread of the virus was also stressed, saying people should minimize contact with one another and maintain a distance of at least 5 feet from another person and report any cases of contravention to the appropriate quarter. You're still watching Ogtv News. More news and report after this break. Do join us again. Welcome back. Transport hubs and major streets that were once busy in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital, are nearly desolate amid the lockdown across the state owing to the coronavirus pandemic. Ogtv News observed that a combined team of security operatives were at intersections of roads enforcing compliance to the sit-at-home order. Shemilori Amore reports.
As people across Ogun State remain indoors to slow the spread of coronavirus, streets, event centers and commercial areas in Abeokuta, the state capital, are devoid of its usual human and vehicular movements with empty car parks. While the sit-at-home order recorded total compliance, there were minor business activities by essential workers in few areas. Movement in and out of the city is restricted, with deserted car parks, while streets and markets noted for influx of people are all desolate. There is, however, respite for the people of Ogun State as the government continues to provide relief materials to cushion the effect of the lockdown. Also is the relaxation of the sit-at-home order to allow residents to restock and make brisk earnings during the window of relaxation. Shemilori Amore, Ogtv News.
One of the biggest challenges confronting Nigeria's war against the COVID-19 pandemic is the limited diagnostics infrastructure in the country. According to the Director General of the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, Dr. Chikwe Kwerazu, the NCDC boss attributed the challenge to decades of neglect. He was responding to a question about what he considered the most difficult challenge in managing the spread of COVID-19 in Nigeria. In a bid to further enhance the capacity of Ogun State in rice cultivation and production, the state government, through the Ministry of Agriculture, has taken delivery of a rice mill donated by the federal government. Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, while inspecting the rice mill alongside over 900 hectares of rice farm which the youths are fully engaged in, said the administration is proud to showcase the success of the state in rice production in the last 10 months. Matthew Shomi completes the report.
Through purpose-driven leadership, strategic policies and diligent implementation of different programs and initiatives to improve agriculture and enhance food production in Ogun State, the dream of the current administration to not only feed its population but the nation and providing employment for the youth through agriculture value chain is fast becoming a reality as the results keep coming in. This has also resulted in buying in of different individuals and groups, not leaving out the support of the federal government, who are ready to partner with the state to achieve this lofty dream. As the Commissioner for Agriculture, Dr. Adeola Odedino, inspects rice mill donated by the federal government to the states in Igua.
The rice milling machine of 1 ton per hour is supposed to serve this cluster to some extent, so that people don't need to travel far and wide looking for milling machine. Despite the fact that we have off-take agreement with big-time rice millers, and the the young people here also have opportunity to mill their own rice. And this machine, donated by the federal government and facilitated by Ogun State government, is supposed to be demonstrational. In this location, we have all the facilities along the value chain. So Ogun Rice has come to stay.
While inspecting the over 900 hectares of rice farm, which is being cultivated by a cluster of youth known as Group Farm in Igua, the commissioner says the state is set to witness abundance and take the lead in rice production.
We are working with 1,000 young people who will also be interested, or they have already keyed into the rice opportunity. So we are standing on already planted rice here. We've linked them to land. They've also been linked to inputs. And the rice mill, our own rice mill, Ogun State's rice mill, will also uptake from here. So this is an example of youth initiative in agriculture that we want to encourage in the state.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Dr. Dotun Shorunke, stated that there is a huge benefit that could be derived from youth participation in agriculture. Chairman Transition Committee for Yewa North Local Government expressed his great delight to witness the transformation of rice production, which Igua is known for, and the engagement of the youth in the process. Leader of Group Farm reveals that agriculture is the next gold mine for the nation, which the current administration in the state has recorded giant stride in repositioning.
We took the initiative to create solution to these 4 problems, which includes that we come together, we farm a mass.
The commissioner also inspected other rice farms in Igua, where he asked for more youth involvement in agriculture. Matthew Shomi, Ogtv News.
On the foreign side, over 1.5 billion cases of coronavirus have been recorded in Europe, just under half the worldwide total, according to an AFP tally. With at least 1,506,853 infections, including 140,000 deaths, Europe is the hardest hit continent. Across the world, 3.3 million cases and 238,000 deaths have been recorded. Spain with 215,000 cases and 24,000 deaths. Italy with 207,000 cases and 28,000 deaths. Britain has 177,000 with cases with 27,000 deaths. France has 167,000 cases and 24,000 deaths. Germany has 161,000 cases with 6,000 deaths. The tally, using data collected by AFP from national authorities and information from the World Health Organization, probably reflects only a fraction of the actual number of infections. American authorities have approved an experimental drug for emergency use on coronavirus patients as more U.S. states ease pandemic lockdown despite spike in deaths from the virus. The approval is the latest step in a global push to find a viable treatment and a vaccine for the coronavirus, which has left half of humanity under some form of lockdown, hampered the world economy and infected more than 3.3 million people. Remdesivir, an antiviral drug initially developed to treat Ebola, was given the green light on Friday after a major trial found out that it boosts recovery in serious COVID-19 patients. The drug approval came as the U.S. leader struggled with growing pressure from citizens weary of the stay-at-home orders. And now to sports. The United States women's football team bid for equal pay has been dismissed by a court, with the judge rejecting the players' claims they were underpaid compared to men. The lawsuit was filed by 28 women's national team players last year against the U.S. Soccer Federation. They had been seeking $66 million in damage under the Equal Pay Act. Molly Levison, the players' spokeswoman, said that they plan to appeal against the decision. The federal judge had allowed the players' case for an unfair treatment in travel, housing and medical support to go to trial, which is set for 16th of June in Los Angeles. The U.S. team won the Women's World Cup last summer for their 4th title overall. They have also won 5 Olympic gold medals. Bayer Leverkusen is confident the Bundesliga will resume in May, says the club's sporting director Simeon Rothlis. The German Football League was hoping a decision would be taken by government on 30th April, but the issue was delayed and the next meeting is on the 6th of May. The season needs to be completed by the 30th of June because of deals with sponsors and broadcasters, and last week the league said it would be ready to return on the 9th of May, but 16th or the 23rd of May are now considered more realistic. With 9 games remaining in the season, Bayern Munich led the table, 4 points ahead of Borussia Dortmund, with Leverkusen in 5th and chasing in Champions League sport. And now, let's have you the weather forecast for Sunday.